that she is now under arrest. It's nonsense to say that political prisoners are favoured. I sympathise with Aung San Suu Kyi. I know how she feels, as I am a former political prisoner. The regime usually claims that political prisoners are not tortured. I met 3 other female political prisoners when I was in prison. 2 of them were forced to face the wall. They were beaten with canes. Isn't that torture? A person in prison for any reason has to experience for the first time what is called ponzan, or in prison terminology, a set of different submissive positions that prisoners must assume on command. Prisoners must lower their gaze to the floor, avoiding eye contact with the guards. This was introduced in the British colonial period for security reasons. Under the regime's rule, it's intentionally used to break down one's dignity and values. The current prison conditions in Burma conform to less than 10% of the standard minimum rules for the treatment of prisoners, adopted by the first UN Congress on the Offenders, held at Geneva in 1957. Burma is a Theravada Buddhist country. However, the regime doesn't favour Buddhist monks. If a monk participates in the democracy movement, he is also sent to prison, where he is forcibly disrobed, and then treated just like other prisoners. Activists who become prisoners for their beliefs are forced to endure human rights abuses. Talking to other prisoners from neighbouring cells is a crime according to the prison authority. If they talk, they are beaten. Some have gone insane due to this inhumane treatment. Political prisoners face not only imprisonment, but also different sorts of punishment in prisons. One of the punishments is putting a 6-kilogram iron shackle on the legs. Sometimes an iron stick is fixed horizontally between the shackled legs of prisoners, forcing them to stand permanently with legs apart. Another punishment is solitary confinement. A prisoner in solitary confinement is not allowed to have family visits, is prevented from taking a shower for 1 month or more. The small pot used as a toilet is rarely emptied, so it is often overflowing with the prisoner's waste, filling the cell with filth and spreading disease. Due to this repression, political prisoners often have to strike for prisoners' rights. A hunger strike is the harshest method.
Why and when were there hunger strikes in prison? Well, we had hunger strikes when the authority brutally oppressed the political prisoners. We tried to gain our rights by having hunger strikes. There were many hunger strikes under this repressive government. Under the old socialist regime, the hunger strikes on Coco Island prison were well known. One lasted 52 days, and 8 political prisoners died during that time. Sometimes a hunger strike doesn't work. Sometimes, on the other hand, it ends with success. In 1971, there was a strike on Coco Island prison. Dozens of political prisoners died in the hunger strikes. Yes, and finally they did win. And the prisoners on that island were taken away. And so that particular strike ended with success.
When the prisoners are not being harassed, they fill the monotony by playing chess, smoking, talking, and making statues using soap cake. If they have the chance, they make bags using pieces of plastic. They use plastic sheets and paper from cigarette butts to write on, something